So, good morning, Silver Rebellion. We are here with our creator and founder of the Silver Rebellion movement. Good morning. Let's say hello to Nick, also known as Silver Beard. How are you, Nick?
I'm doing well. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. So, today's the day that we get to tell everyone your story. So, I guess we'll get right to it. And why don't you tell us about how you got started and created and your thoughts on the Silver Rebellion movement?
All right. Well, yeah, thank you. So it's probably back in 2017. Started a lot of the YouTube shows we were watching were starting to bring up gold and silver, and in that period of time, we were looking at the real estate market, buying and selling homes a little bit, and ultimately, um, I wanted to plan ahead for any potential crashes. So, was looking for that next investment asset that would be inversely correlated to the housing market. And it seemed with all the research and videos we were watching, it looked like gold and silver is that next asset to invest in. So, yeah, it was about 2017 and just started buying silver coins, American Silver Eagles, one by one, and pretty soon was hooked on buying silver, and just love all the different designs, the history, and as I researched it more and more, it just looked like it was a completely controlled asset, completely held down and manipulated. And so for me, that looked like a great opportunity. It nothing will be manipulated forever. So I just felt like, okay, if I need to bet on something to do well over time and something to hold and use as an investment that I can turn into cash anytime, silver and gold really fit that need. So that's how I got started. Then just a lot was happening in the market. Gold and silver is fluctuating, and once the C19 thing happened, we saw the paper market just drop instantly, which presented a buying opportunity. So yeah, every kind of major dip kind of added more to my stack, and yeah, that's really the start of it. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun being part of these communities and just getting to know everybody and stacking more gold and silver.
That's fantastic. And I mean, how has it been? I mean, over the years, do you look at your stack sometimes? Does it make you feel like you've done well for yourself and your family, or how does it resonate with you?
Yeah, so when I started stacking, it was about $15 an ounce for silver. And, right now, as of today, we're looking at about 33, $34 silver. So just in that time, the paper price has doubled. Um, and with a lot of the shows, that are in this sphere, it looks like, deficit, the supply deficit continues to grow. And so we're just seeing more and more demand for silver, and I think there's a small adjustment in price because of that. It's still heavily manipulated, but that's okay. Eventually, it'll break free. But yeah, it's essentially doubled since I jumped into this commodity market.
And that's a wonderful thing. I mean, do you have a target in mind? Is there something with silver that you think? You mentioned the manipulation. You mentioned the fear of economic downturn. Is there a target in mind? Is there a price point? Is there an end game, so to speak, with stacking metals? In your opinion?
Starting out, I was thinking, oh, I want silver and gold to hit a certain price, and therefore I can switch back into cash and use it for investments or purchasing another home, down payments, et cetera, et cetera. But as time goes on, with all the research and information I've received about, how fiat currencies eventually will collapse, and pretty much all fiat currencies collapse over time. It's just a guarantee. It's a matter of time. It's more of a safe haven asset now to me. It just took a lot of years, but my mindset has switched from paper cash being wealth, digital numbers that sit in your bank account, to physical assets. So, it took many years to get that mindset to switch where I'm valuing things in ounces instead of dollars. So it's been really good. So ultimately, yeah, a price target's great. I'm more of like a silver maximalist. So I think silver should be as valuable or more valuable than gold because of its uses, the demand, and its historical precedence as a monetary metal. Um, it's it's switched for me. So my mindset has switched, and ultimately, I'm gonna value this as my savings, my holdings, instead of like a price target. Like like let's just imagine it went to $1,000. That's great. I might sell a couple coins, but ultimately, I'm still holding silver because it's going to go up in value versus fiat cash that's going to go down in value.
Right. And I mean, yeah, no, I would agree with you. It ultimately, we're seeing that. And we want to make sure that everyone knows that, the Silver Rebellion movement, along with the precious metals investing, like how important is it to you that everyone realizes that that's what's going on with their savings as they stack?
We saw that major price drop in the stock market in 2008, and it was difficult to watch. Many people, family, friends, their investments in their 401ks dropped by 60%. It did recover over time, but these major market corrections have a long lasting effect on the total value as well as a psychological effect. So it's important. It's great. I want everyone to get in, but it's also something people really only get into silver and gold after they've done the research. You can't, people will look at it and it just doesn't click. I think they erased it from our collective psyche over time, over 100 years, by making it gold illegal to own, removing silver from the currency. Um, it just, people think that silver is something historic and kind of antiquated, but actually it's more advanced than paper currency. So
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Much more advanced, and it lasts forever, essentially. I mean, what's your take on the silver usage, the industrialization side of it, and how maybe it doesn't last forever, so to speak, versus what we're seeing with gold?
yeah, they say, all the talking heads say 50% of the produced silver every year ends up in the trash through solar panels or electronics being manufactured and just discarded over time. So it has more of a shelf life than or less of a shelf life than gold would. Gold never Gold doesn't tarnish. It's never gonna oxidize away. Gold is used heavily in industrial applications for just coatings, but ultimately, whatever gold can do, silver can do better. So for me, in the long run, in the high technology future, silver's importance plays much higher role than gold. So because it's slowly being diminished, mining as well as through industrial uses, I don't personally see it coming back as a monetary metal. I think it'll just be staying a industrial metal. But many countries are already talking about turning it into a strategic reserve, and so the USA used to have it as a strategic reserve. I think we still do have a stockpile, but it's kind of like a secret. Like they don't want anybody talking about it. They don't want too much attention on silver because if too many people have eyes on it, the potential for its price to increase is drastic. So
Plus, also the military uses of the bombs that have silver inside of them too. So yeah, I think it's a number that nobody really knows will ever know. And what's your take on the GSR, the gold to silver ratio, the price, and where we're headed, what's going to happen, and how it's been?
yeah, it's a great point. I definitely think the military plays a heavy part of the price needing to be so low. If silver's price drastically increases, it's going to affect military applications, production of vehicles, weapons, bombs, etc. So to have a robust military, you actually need a low silver price, and I'm not going to speculate on if they're part of that manipulation. I think it's more heavily on the banks, but yeah, in order to have a robust military, you need a lower price for silver. It's one of those things that the entire industry is benefiting from. You know, the only people that want silver to actually go up in value are stackers. You know, the banks don't want it because it's the antithesis to the dollar. You know, producers, manufacturers don't need it to go up because it's a important commodity to use in manufacturing. And so, really, the entire
Well,
world
yeah, and the miners and the miners
and
too.
the miners, they do, you know, they're still going to work within profit margins though. So if it goes up, that's good, but their costs might go up as well. So really, I think the miners benefit the most when there's a drastic price change without their costs going up. So yeah, the miners can be great, but I feel like that's going to be kind of a sharp spike up and then a leveling out. But again, I'm not going to
Well,
speculate
yeah,
too much on that.
that's the danger with the miners. Just to touch base on the miners' point of view, some miners will make a lot of money, and there are probably quite a few of them that will do well in this next bull run. But like you said, the price point on getting the metal out of the ground, that's the danger when you start investing in the mining sector versus buying the bullion itself.
Absolutely, yeah, and ultimately you own paper at the end of the day by investing in shares of miners. And you know, there's some great miners out there. You know, for me, I really like First Majestic. I really like what Keith Neumeyer says. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a paper investment, and you hold paper. And yeah, the whole credo of the silver stacking movement is if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So I'm a big believer in that as well. And there's nothing better than at the end of the day just holding and looking at your investment in your hand. So you're not reliant on an exchange. You just, you know, you need to find a buyer, and there's always a buyer for gold and silver.
Oh yes, extremely liquid market all the time, and ultimately, it really is one of the most liquid investments the world has ever seen. I mean, it's something that everyone should have some. It's kind of wild that not everyone owns a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver. To me, it seems kind of outrageous.
Yeah, it just goes into that kind of collective consciousness, um, you know, in our media and movies, you know, musicians, they're always, you know, what do they have around them? They have cash, they have money. It's like a multi-level promotion of fiat cash that goes beyond just the banks or just beyond the Federal Reserve or the U.S. Treasury. They've literally changed what wealth means to the people. And so I think we lost that over the last 100+ years. And it's coming back, though. You know, people are realizing what's real and what's fake.
Yeah, Nick, I would agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you want to touch base on before we wrap up your interview?
Yeah, just a little backstory on like the Silver Rebellion channel. Thank you all for being in the community. We really appreciate you being here with us. We're growing a community. It's not necessarily just about one person giving their opinions. We're going to hear from everybody through our silver giveaways, our chats, our Telegram chat, and our videos. We're looking to build a community around stacking precious metals. So, kind of the little backstory is we'll hear from Justin in his story as well, but got into the Telegram channel for Wall Street Silver kind of right after the GameStop run, and you know, I was already a silver stacker, so I saw the GameStop run. It looked like, oh, this is kind of looks like an amazing opportunity. You know, we saw the craziness of that, but ultimately, the stock guys and the GameStop bros, they did not like the silver stackers. So the silver stackers kind of had to break away from GameStop as well as the Wall Street movement. And so when that broke away, you know, it was kind of cool to see all these people with like the stacker mindset come together. And you know, there's issues with different platforms with free speech like Reddit, and kind of made my way over to Telegram and found the Wall Street Silver Telegram channel that was created by Justin. and just started hanging out there, putting my 2 cents in, talking, having great conversations. And over time, that just led to me collaborating with Justin and you and the rest of our team. And, it just made sense to rebrand at one point and just start pushing this new identity, this new thought process. And yeah, it's been really good. I think we've been doing this for, over 4 years now. So we have a really good base of users and a great community. And yeah, I'd just like to want to continue that discussion, continue talking about it.
Well, we're looking forward to it as we grow, as we do more content, more giveaways, more strategic interviews with more professionals in the industry. We're going to do the best we can to get everyone involved. We're definitely going to listen to everyone's views, everyone's input, especially when it comes to silver. And ultimately, I want to say thank you to Nick for the interview. Let everybody know this is Joe, Silverman 316 on the X account. And I just want to say happy stacking to everyone. And Silver Belly, you have a great day.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Nick. Be well.
Keep stacking, Silver Rebellion.